In today's video, I'm partnering up with Pelsee to review their S3 Ultra dual dash cam. I'm going to unbox, go over the settings, test the ADAS and voice control functions, show day and night footage, and provide a review. The S3 Ultra has dual Sony Starvis 2 sensors with a 4K camera in the front, with a 2.5K 360-degree rotating camera in the rear that allows full-color low-light night vision, 3.4-inch IPS touchscreen voice control, ADAS, which is Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, with alerts for lane departure, forward collision, front vehicle starts, and pedestrian warnings, 2.4 GHz and 5.8 GHz, Wi-Fi 6 that allows you to transfer videos directly from your phone through the app, GPS tracking, G-sensor with loop recording, and comes with a 128GB micro SD card. Check out the description section below for additional specs.
Here's the box that it came in. This is the bottom, the back, nothing on the sides, and then the top. Inside we have boxes on the left and the right. In the left box we have the dash cam itself. Let's take a look at it. There is film over the camera that we'll take off. There's double-sided tape on the top, microphone on the bottom, power button on the left side. Here's a screen protector. There's a plug for the power and the rear input, and then the micro SD card. We also have a rear camera with a USB-C port, double-sided tape. It says to install the camera like this, and the camera spins 360 degrees. These other bags, we have the plug that goes in the 12-volt source, plastic prying tool, screwdriver. Here's the USB-C power cable. This plugs into here, and then into the car. This is a OBD2 power cable. This is the cable for the rear camera. This plugs into the dash cam port where it says rear, and then this plugs into the rear dash cam. There's extra double-sided tape, cable management, and then in this bag we have a dry wipe, 128GB micro SD card. This is film that you can apply to the windows, and then you can put the dash cameras onto it to provide extra stability. There's a business card, a sticker that says protected by Pelsee. Here's the OBD Hardwire kit user guide. Activate and upgrade your warranty, and then the instruction manual. I'm going to put the micro SD card in and then get this installed. I have the cameras mounted. Now I'm going to turn them on.
Please format the card.
It's asking us to format the card. Okay.
Formatting completed. Recording started.
Let's take a look at the screen. Starting on the top left, we have the recording time, the resolution. It's 4K in the front and 2.5K in the rear. HDR is enabled. There's voice controls, looks like an SD card, microphone, GPS location. Wi-Fi is turned off. On the bottom we have the date and time and the current speed. I need to set the date because it's incorrect. If we tap the screen, we can switch the view to the rear. There's a menu button. We'll go through that in a second. We can take a picture. We can stop.
Recording stopped.
And start the recording.
Recording stopped.
We can lock the footage. You can turn on Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is turned on.
If you want to connect to the app to look at the videos. If you go back, it disables Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is turned off.
Let's take a look at the settings.
Recording started. Recording stopped.
There's navigation on the left and then also on the right, so we can see the videos in the front. These are the videos.
Wi-Fi is turned off.
Let's take a look at the settings. We can lock files and then delete them. These are the videos from the rear. We can also fast forward. These are locked videos from the front, locked videos from the rear, and then images from the front. And images from the rear. These are the camera settings. This is the resolution. 4K in the front and then 2.5 in the rear, or you can do 2.5 in the front and 2.5 in the rear, or 1080 in the front and 2.5 in the rear. I'm going to keep it at the highest resolution. Loop recording is set to 1 minute. Audio recording is on. Timestamp is on. G sensor is set to medium. Parking guard is off. You have to put the Hardwire kit and then it could continuously record 24/7. Time lapse is off. FPS of time lapse set at 1 frames per second. You can mirror and flip the rear camera. No change, flip mirror, or mirror and flip. The way it's set up right now, it's how I want it, so I don't need to flip it or mirror it.
Recording stopped.
There's smart ADAS settings. You can calibrate it. Please manually adjust the dash cam so that the red line is in the intersection of the road and the sky, and the green line is aligned with the center of the hood. Because this dash cam can only tilt up and down, I can't really change the angle of it. I cannot align the green line with the center of the hood, but I can align the red with the horizon. So ADAS settings, I'm going to turn all of them on. There's forward collision warning, front vehicle starts warning, lane departure warning, pedestrian collision warning. It goes back to calibrating. And it doesn't look like we can adjust the sensitivity on any of these. We can just turn them on or off. So that's it for the camera settings. For the system settings, we can change the Wi-Fi band from 2.4 gigahertz to 5.8. Here's the Wi-Fi info. Volume set to medium. Boot sound is on. Touch sound is on. Date format is month, date, year by default. Clock format is 12 hours. Date and time. Today is March 14th, 2026. And the current time is 9:45. Voice control is on. Here are some voice commands. Lock the video, turn on the display, show front camera, turn off recording, take picture, open screen, show rear camera, and open recording. There's different languages. I'm going to keep it in English. Frequency is 60 hertz. Screensaver, turn it off. GPS is on. Speed units is in miles per hour. Speed adjustments is 0. If the GPS doesn't show the correct speed, you can manually adjust it up to plus or minus 8. Time zone is correct. Format, factory reset, and then about. Here's the model information. That's it. Let's go back to the main screen.
Recording started.
If you swipe, you can change the views. Let's test the voice commands. Lock the video.
Video locked.
Turn off display.
The screen is turned off.
Show front camera. Show rear camera.
The rear camera's view is displayed.
Take picture. Open screen.
The screen is turned on.
Turn off recording.
Audio recording disabled.
Open recording.
Audio recording enabled.
I ended up placing the dash cam in the middle of my windshield because the ADAS settings require that the camera be centered with the hood. Now that the camera is centered with the hood and windshield, I'm going to try calibrating it again. If I press the calibrate button, it has this note, and then we can adjust the red line with the horizon and the green line with the center of the hood, and then you can turn all these on. You'll drive normally for about 30 seconds, and then it'll say that it calibrated successfully.
Successfully calibrated. Watch for front collision. Watch for front collision. Lane departure warning. Lane departure warning. Watch for front collision. Lane departure warning. Watch for front collision. Front vehicle starts. Front vehicle starts.
I'm going to test the dash cam at night. I'm going to drive around a residential neighborhood. It's quite dark outside, aside from street lights. I'm going to flip between the front and rear footage. Right now we have the headlights on my truck. Looking at the physical screen on the dash cam, I can see quite a bit of detail. I'll also upload this footage on the computer and export the raw footage so you guys can see the actual footage and if we can read license plates from that. I'm going to drive around normally to see if there's any quality difference in the video when the truck is going faster. I'm at a location where there isn't any street lights ahead of me. This footage is with the headlight on. I'm going to turn it off to see how the footage looks like without any headlights. And as we can see, the camera automatically compensated for the missing lighting. It's pretty much pitch dark in front of me, but the dash cam is able to show some detail. I'm going to turn the truck around to see if the rear camera can pick up the same detail. We have the rear camera facing the same view, and if I turn the headlight off, I don't think it's going to make a difference because the headlight's facing forward, but let's see. Turned off the tail lights, and the image quality seems about the same. It's pitch dark behind me, but through the monitor, I'm able to see quite a bit of detail. It's also in color. Let's turn the headlight back on. I'm going to drive around normally on the main road. There is more street lights, and I have my headlights on. Let's see if we can make out license plates.
Lane departure warning.
Onto the review. What I like most about this camera is that it has dual Sony Starvis 2 cameras in the front and rear. The front is 4K resolution and the rear is 2.5K. The video quality is excellent, especially with the sun out, and you can make out license plates on both the front and rear cameras. The night vision is also great. When it's almost pitch dark outside, you can still make out detail. I like that the dash cam has ADAS settings, and it notifies me when I'm departing from the lane, if there's a pedestrian ahead, when I'm following too close, or if the car ahead of me moves. The last setting is especially helpful for those who text at a stoplight, not that you should be doing it. The voice commands are also a nice feature, so you don't have to physically touch the screen while moving. It also records 24/7 with the supplied OBD2 power cable and includes a 128GB micro SD card. Moving on to suggestions or things I noticed. It's hard to make out license plates in the dark, especially when you're moving faster than 10 miles per hour, or with the rear camera in general at night, but you can make out general detail. The lane departure warning goes off when you turn on a curve on the freeway, or when you switch lanes, so I ended up disabling that function. There's no ADAS sensitivity adjustments. On other Pelsee dash cams, you can set it from off, low, medium, or high. This one is just on or off. You can't rotate the dash camera left or right. You can only rotate it up or down, so the dash camera lens has to be placed on the center of the windshield in order to use the ADAS settings. And then sometimes the voice commands do not register, especially if you're playing loud music. Overall, I like the S3 Ultra dash cam and will probably replace the S3 Touch that was installed on my wife's SUV. If you're in the market for a dual Starvis 2 dash cam with ADAS settings and voice control, you can check out the Pelsee S3 Ultra. Check out the description section below for a link to the product with the latest pricing. Please like this video if you found it helpful. If you made it this far, please leave a comment on what brought you to this video. Also, feel free to leave questions or comments in the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.